Is Ryan Poles about to risk the future of the Bears in the next 72 hours? A beast off the edge could save us or sink us. But heads up, a key piece might slip away from Chicago for peanuts while you're listening to this. And this is critical. Lamar Jackson is back on Sunday to tear apart a banged-up defense. Can we survive Baltimore? Subscribe now or miss the breakdown that could save our season. Smash that like button if you demand Poles doesn't screw this up. Stick around till the end. The trade deadline hits on November 4th, and Ryan Poles has a massive decision to make. ESPN just linked the Bears to Germaine Johnson, the Jets' former first-round edge rusher who might be exactly what we need to take this defense to the next level. Let me be real with you. Our pass is a problem. We're ranked 21st in sacks per game with just 2 a game. To sacks, folks. In today's NFL, that's just not gonna cut it. We're 27th in QB hits with 4.3 per game. And let me tell you something that's got me heated. We're 27th in yards allowed per pass attempt at 7.5. That means opposing quarterbacks are cooking us. Let me ask you this, after what we saw against the Saints, where we finally got for sacks, do you think that's enough? I don't. I'm telling you right now, we need more. A lot more. Germaine Johnson is a 6'5", 260-pound edge rusher who was a first-round pick by the Jets in 2022. Yeah, he had an Achilles injury that sidelined him for 15 games last year, and yeah, he missed 3 games this year with an ankle issue. But hear me out, when this dude is healthy, he's a monster. In 2023, before the Achilles injury, he had 7.5 sacks and 16 pressures. He's got the lower body strength and burst to collapse the pocket. Now here's the interesting part, the Jets aren't desperate to move him. Jeremy Fowler from ESPN says the Jets would be more open to trading Johnson than Will McDonald for if they make a move at that position. And you know why? Because McDonald's in year 3 of his rookie deal, while Johnson's in year 4. Johnson's got a 5th year worth $13.4 million in 2026, which is honestly a bargain for a quality edge rusher. But let me ask you this, do you think Ryan Poles is willing to give up a data draft pick for this guy? Because that's probably what it'll take. I think if we keep winning, if we beat the Ravens this Sunday and stretch this win streak to 5, Poles is going to feel the heat to make a move. That boosts our playoff chances. Think about this. Gervin Dexter, our sack leader, is tied for 52nd in the league with just 2.5 sacks. Montez Sweat, our most talented edge rusher, has only 2 sacks in 2025. TWO, that's criminal for a player of his caliber. I'm telling you, if Poles can land Johnson without mortgaging our future, it's a move he has to make. This team is 1 or 2 pieces away from being truly dangerous. Caleb Williams is getting better every week. Our O-line is finally playing decent ball. And the defense is flashing greatness. But we need more pressure on the quarterback. Period. Do you think Johnson is the answer? Or should Poles look elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If that surprised you, wait till you hear this, because now we're talking about one of our own who might be on his way out of Chicago. Braxton Jones, our longtime starting left tackle, was just named by ESPN as one of the top 25 trade candidates before the deadline. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why this is a tricky situation. First, the facts. Jones got benched in favor of Theo Benedette, an undrafted rookie who missed all of last season with an injury. Benedette had a lights-out debut in Week 6 against the Commanders, but then had a shaky outing against the Saints in Week 7 that apparently got him in hot water with Ben Johnson. Jones, meanwhile, is a 4th-year vet who was a 5th-round pick. Before his season-ending injury last year, he was playing the best ball of his career. Not elite, but league average, which is impressive for a 5th-rounder. He's started 40 NFL games. He got solid instincts, quick feet, and good technique, though he struggles against stronger pass rushers. Jeremy Fowler from ESPN wrote this. Rival teams agree. Jones is a logical trade candidate after being benched for Theo Benedette, and with his track record as a multi-year starter in Chicago. Jones is also in a contract year and is now healthy after dealing with an ankle issue for most of 2025. Now let me ask you this. Do you think the Bears should trade Jones? I don't, and here's why. First off, Jones is in a contract year. That means the Bears probably wouldn't get much in return if they dealt him. Maybe a 6th or 7th round pick. Is that worth it? I say no. Second, our O-line is just now starting to look competent. Our depth behind Jones is thin. Outside of Jones, the only other active linemen are Ryan Bates and rookies Luke Newman and Ozzie Trapilo. Do you trust those guys to protect Caleb Williams if something happens to Benedette? I sure don't, and here's the biggest thing. Theo Benedette is a project. Yeah, he's got the tools to be one of the biggest draft steals in recent memory. But he's raw and could flame out like most undrafted guys do. If that happens, the Bears are gonna need a reliable fallback at left tackle. The only guy on the roster who fits that bill is Braxton Jones. Think about it, we're at a critical point in Caleb Williams' development. Every snap matters. Every block matters. Do you really want to risk not having a dependable backup left tackle? I'm asking you, is a 6th round pick worth that gamble? I think Poles should hold onto Jones for the rest of the season. Worst case, let him walk in free agency and get a comp pick. Trading him now just doesn't make sense. You agree with me? Or do you think we should get whatever we can for Jones while he still has value? Let me know in the comments. And just when you thought we were done, here comes the real headline. This Sunday, we're facing the Ravens in Baltimore. And Lamar Jackson is back. And let me tell you something, his return doesn't just bring back one of the most electric players in the league, it also unlocks a bunch of things for the Ravens that they didn't have without him. The Ravens had passer ratings of 76.4, 58.1, and 4.2 from Cooper Rush, and 76.5 from Tyler Huntley while Jackson was out. It's easy to see why they dropped to 1-5 and are now a desperate team, with Jackson returning this Sunday against the Bears. But here's the problem. Our own injury situation is making these matchups even tougher. Tyreek Stevenson missed Wednesday's practice with a shoulder injury, and Ben Johnson's day-to-day or week-to-week comment doesn't exactly scream confidence that he'll be ready. Nahshon Wright, on the other side, has a hip issue and was limited Wednesday after leaving Sunday's game before coming back to finish. DJ Moore hip, Roshan Johnson back, Cole Kmet back, and Dander Swift groin all missed Wednesday's practice, which makes things even tougher as we get closer to game day. Let me break down where we're in the most trouble this game. First, Nahshon Wright versus Zay Flowers. Wright struggled with speedy receivers, and at 5'9", 183, Flowers can really test the 6'4" corner. Flowers already has 34 catches for 423 yards. Despite his QB's injury issues, Wright is ranked 74th out of 112 corners by PFF after a rough start. His passer rating allowed is down to 93.6. He's given up 19 catches on 29 targets, 65.5%, with 2 picks but also 3 touchdowns. Second, Nick McLeod versus Rashod Bateman. McLeod is a backup corner who first stepped in for Gordon in the slot, and last week filled in for Stevenson after the shoulder injury. McLeod's better inside than outside, and is ranked 95th out of 112 corners this year. PFF gives him a passer rating allowed of 154.5, when targeted basically as bad as it gets. Third, and Drew Billings versus Tyler Linderbaum. Billings isn't having a bad year. He's ranked 29th against the run among 124 interior defenders by PFF, but now he's up against a 2-time Pro Bowl center who's ranked 3rd best run blocker at his position. It's in the trenches and the run game where Linderbaum helps the Ravens get to the second level and open things up for Derrick Henry to break off big gains. Fourth, DeMarco Jackson versus Mark Andrews. Jackson played last week for Noah Sewell, who's still in concussion protocol. Jackson's a guy the Bears picked up after the Saints cut him, and matching him up with Andrews in coverage is a mismatch. Andrews had a slow start after that brutal playoff drop, and the 6'5", 250-pound tight end is averaging a career-low 8.3 yards per catch. But with Lamar back, expect that to go up. And finally, Dander Swift versus Roquan Smith. Smith finally gets his revenge game. He's been waiting since 2022 for this. He's coming off a hamstring injury, but speed and violence are his game. He'll be chasing a running back who's also banged up. Swift's been nursing a groin injury for a couple weeks, and even though he's topped 100 yards twice, going up against a 5-time All-Pro is a tall order. Let me ask you this, do you think we're ready for this challenge? Because I'm telling you now, this isn't a game where we can lean on the run game to carry the offense. We're gonna need Caleb Williams and the passing attack to step up. The Ravens are desperate. They're 1-5. They've got Lamar Jackson back. They've got Derrick Henry in the backfield. And we've got injuries in key spots. This is the kind of game that defines a season. Do you think we can win in Baltimore? Or is this where the win streak ends? Let me know in the comments. Look, Bears family, We just broke down 3 massive stories that could shape the rest of our season. First, the potential trade for Germaine Johnson that could give our defense the edge rusher we desperately need. Do you think Poles should give up a data pick for him? Second, the Braxton Jones situation, should the Bears trade him or keep him as insurance? Do you trust Theo Benedette as our left tackle of the future, or do we need to hang on to Jones? And third, Sunday's showdown with the Ravens. Lamar Jackson is back, and we're banged up. Do you think we can stretch the win streak to 5, or is this where reality hits? These are real questions that need real answers from you, the most passionate Bears family on YouTube. Because here, we don't just talk football, we live and breathe navy blue and orange. This is our community, our family, and every single one of you is part of it. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button right now, because tomorrow we've got more breaking news. You don't want to miss. Smash that like button if you believe the Bears can beat the Ravens. Share this with every Bears fan you know, because we need to grow this family. And most importantly, drop your comments below. I want to hear what you think about these 3 stories. Should we go after Johnson? Should we keep Jones? Can we beat the Ravens? Let me know. I read every comment. This is Bear Down family. This is Chicago. This is who we are. And together, we're gonna watch this team get to where it belongs. See you in the next video. Bear Down, Chicago.